Hi my friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing well. Today we're going to be having a little chat and I'm going to be sharing some experiences on being autistic and exercise. So just a quick disclaimer before I start this video, I just want to say that I am not qualified in sports or exercise or personal training at all. And I'm not saying that you should train the way that I train. I'm just talking about my own experiences with exercise. And if you need any help or advice on training, you should speak to a professional or even a medical professional if you need to. So 4 years ago, I started going to the gym, having spent all of my life hating sport and exercise in general. I did like dancing, but that was basically it. I am useless at sports. I never understood the games. I never understood the competitiveness. As you can imagine, sports at school was just an absolute nightmare, and I tried to get out of doing it as much as I could. However, the joys of social media and YouTube introduced me to the world of strength training, and I could see the benefits of it. Having a healthy relationship with food. For me, it was a way of gaining some weight because I'm quite a tiny person and I used to be even skinnier, so having some muscle to build some strength and gain some weight. Although for others, of course, it can be a great way to lose weight. Gaining confidence and improving some issues that I was having with muscle weakness and joint hypermobility, which is actually quite a common trait in autistic people. Finally, I felt like, okay, here is a type of exercise that I can do which makes me feel like a strong and powerful human person instead of a useless, uncoordinated idiot. So I really took my time with it. The first thing I did was join the gym and book an induction with my local gym. And I made sure that in that session I got as much information on how everything worked as I possibly could. So I asked loads of questions about how all the machines worked and how to use them properly and what they were for, so that when I came to the gym the next time to use the machines, I didn't then feel embarrassed and like I want to just give up because I didn't know how to use them, because I'm quite shy and I just wouldn't have asked for help. I even looked up videos online on how to actually move and use the machines that we have at the gym. So it became kind of like my special interest for a while, and I was a bit obsessed with it so that I could gather all of the information that I possibly could. So I had a program and I was trying really hard to get to grips with all the different exercises. I knew that I was doing them all wrong to start with, but I kept with it. I practiced. I kept the weight super light so that I wasn't going to hurt myself. That's really important. I filmed myself and slowly over time I got slightly better. Most importantly for me, I had to gain confidence socially. If I felt like I couldn't use a certain piece of gym equipment one day because of the other people around me, and this is what we call gym intimidation, I just set it to one side and allowed myself to just try again next time. I didn't put too much pressure on myself, and I think that this helped a lot. It's quite common for autistic people to struggle with proprioception. This is the body's sense of knowing where you are in space and what movements you're making so that you can move around freely without having to think about it too much. If you have poor proprioception, you might be a bit clumsy, you might have poor posture, or struggle with balance. Apart from being mildly hypermobile, my proprioception is okay. However, I do carry out quite a few proprioception seeking behaviors, partly just for the sensory input and partly because with hypermobility it allows me to feel more stable. Some of my behaviors are liking to be hugged tightly, enjoying getting a massage, hitting, which is something that I do when I'm very anxious, swinging or spinning, fidgeting whenever I'm trying to sit still, and standing on the outside of my feet to make me feel more stable. I also believe that this is the reason why I like strength training so much. I like the feeling of the weight, and it provides my brain with sensory input and therefore improves my body's ability to know where it is in space and how to move. And I like that it makes my joints feel more stable and helps with my balance. 4 years later and I'm still a regular-ish gym goer, But I do find that as an autistic person who also struggles with a lot of anxiety, that I do have some barriers to training. Unfortunately, I often just feel like I don't really have the energy to train. When I go to work, I have to deal with sensory issues all day, as well as trying to mask and navigate social situations all day because I spend my whole day talking to different people. On top of that, if I have any anxiety during the day, which most days I do, I often just feel too tired to face the gym after work. And I believe that this is a common thing in autistic people because our brains tend to spend a lot more energy trying to navigate through the day than a neurotypical person would. I find that the gym itself can be a bit of a sensory attack with loud music being played. There's people around you making noise, and sometimes they have to speak loudly over the top of the music to be heard. That depends on how busy the gym is at the time. If you avoid a busier time, it's not too bad. There can be some banging of weights and machines being used. And gym clothes can be really uncomfortable. This can definitely be avoided to some extent, but personally I like to feel confident at the gym, so I tend to not just wear like a shorts and t-shirt. I tend to dress up a little bit within reason so that I feel good about myself when I'm at the gym. And sometimes there's just no way around it, like you have to wear a sports bra even though it's uncomfortable and like boob prison, it can't really be avoided. And then depending on the gym that you go to, there could be unpleasant lighting. Temperature wise, it could be too hot. That tends to be more of an issue than too cold because you can always move around to warm up. But if it's too hot and you've got no air conditioning, it can be a little bit horrible. So as I said, the gym can be a bit of a sensory attack. I used to try and ignore the tiredness that I experience after a working day, and I'd get myself to the gym anyway. But over time, this just contributed to burnout, and I would have trouble staying consistent because I would go to the gym regularly for a little while and then I get too tired and stop going, and then I wouldn't want to go back again. Now I'm being much more careful and going only when I feel energized and taking more care of my needs as well when I do go, whilst also remembering that the gym does help me an awful lot with my anxiety and my self-esteem. So I'm trying to maintain a good balance between those two things. However, if I need to cry off training for one day, I don't beat myself up over it. I just decide to go on a different day. And if I need to adjust my workout by taking longer rests in between sets, or lifting lighter weights, then I just do it. I always take my headphones to the gym with me, and these have extremely high quality noise cancelling, so they're excellent to help block out some of the onslaught of different sounds and things going on around me at the gym. These are the Bose Quiet Comfort headphones, and they're quite pricey, but for me they've actually been worth every single penny, so I highly recommend these. They are excellent. It definitely helps to have something like this to help block out everything that's going around you at the gym so that you can then focus more on what you're doing and get more in the zone, which after all is kind of what you're there for anyway. I suppose what I'm trying to get at with this video is that exercise is super important for our health, which we know already, but it can also be an extremely useful tool for people who are autistic or those who struggle with mental health problems such as anxiety. I feel super lucky that I've managed to find a type of exercise that I enjoy and get a lot out of, even though I do still find it difficult being autistic and anxious, and I don't always do as much as I would like to. But it does go to show that anyone can find an activity that they like to do, and you can try and do it in a way that suits you as well. A lot of people think that when we talk about exercise, they think about like treadmills at the gym or going out for a run. However, we have to remember that exercise could also be yoga, rollerblading, climbing, cycling, dancing, trampolining, anything at all. I always recommend that whatever you try, if you're trying it for the first time, you should take it super slowly, like snail's pace slow. Build it up over a long period of time so that it doesn't feel too overwhelming, and also so that you don't get hurt. As I said at the beginning of this video, you should always talk to a professional before starting any new sports activity. So I hope that this has been a useful video and maybe given you some thoughts about what exercise you like to do and how it benefits you. Please give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you haven't done already. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will speak to you soon. Bye, 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 bye.